The 90s staple that was Sabrina the Teenage Witch has gotten an update. Where once Sabrina was a normal high school girl and also a witch being raised by her two quirky witchy aunts.
Meet the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Now she's your average 50s teenager who must choose whether she wants to remain a human girl or embrace her witchy legacy and pledge herself to the Dark Lord Satan himself.
Gone are Hilda and Zelda, quirky 30-somethings who are the cool aunts you always wanted to hang out with. Say hello to Hilda and Zelda, dark and devious cannibals who will make sure you say your prayers to the Dark Lord.
So forget about everything you learned from Melissa Joan Hart, get under the covers and get ready for a creepy ride!
The Chilling Adventures starts from the very beginning, when Sabrina was a baby and her father broke the rules to marry a human woman, supposedly at the command of Satan himself. This pissed off his fiancée, who he had to put aside, and she ends up committing suicide. But more on that later.
The father locks up the mother off in a mental institution for threatening to reveal everything she knows about witches, and then the father later disappears, leaving Sabrina in the care of his sisters Hilda and Zelda.
Sabrina grows up learning that she can make a choice in which life she can lead. One where she swears herself to Satan and retains her magical powers, or one where she chooses a normal life. The choice is made all the more tempting when she falls in love with all-American boy Harvey Kinkle, who she would have to give up if she decided to stay a witch.
Things get even more complicated when her father's fiancé manages to claw her way out of hell and vows revenge. Dubbing herself Madam Satan, she decides the easiest way to get this revenge is to manipulate Sabrina.
The smartest thing the creators of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina did was move the story back to the 1950s. Back when everything was swell, everyone from the housewife to the salaryman had their rigid roles to play, and going steady was a thing that people actually said they did. Gee golly gosh darn it.
The veneer of the 50s adds a level of creepiness that couldn't come from our modern world of shiny technology and instant communication.
The first thing you notice about the graphic novel is how sinister and creepy the art is. Done in a semi-realistic style, the colors on this page are phenomenal. All burnt oranges, deep reds, yellows, grays, and blacks. The whole thing has both a vibrancy and a washed out feel to it.
It perfectly matches the imagery and the art, and there are some truly creepy pages in this book that will make you uncomfortable.
Like this picture of witches in the woods, just, hunting people down.
Or this one of Satan.
The story is simple, but it works extremely well because you're probably familiar with the original story of happy-go-lucky Sabrina who gets in trouble as she learns to use her magic. But then you have this jarring story of Satanism, dark rituals, secret covens in the woods, and all manner of creepy things, and that's what you begin to focus on.
Sabrina herself is a simple character. She doesn't have to do much more than figure out what direction she wants to take her life, and that's the crux of her storyline for most of the volume. Of course, things take a tantalizing turn near the end when Madam Satan finally puts her plans in motion.
Madam Satan is a magnetic presence. When she's on the page, she's dynamic and interesting, and she keeps her plans close to the vest, so even by the end of the volume, you're not quite sure how deep her scheming goes and what exactly she has in store for Sabrina. Other characters of note: Sabrina's British cousin and friend, and Salem, her cat familiar, which is now an eldritch abomination in the form of a cat.
Then there's this fascinating appearance of Betty and Veronica, who are not the sweet girls that you would imagine would exist in the 1950s. Instead, they're witches too, and they're amazingly catty. The story starts dark and ends even darker, and on a cliffhanger that will have you pacing as you wait for more. Check out our spoiler review to find out exactly what Madam Satan's diabolical plans are.
Overall, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a great series that I want to see more of.
The creators did a wonderful job of pulling everything together, and it couldn't have been easy, taking a familiar character, adding horror, and then making it flow nicely. But the results are impressive.
And of course, if you haven't heard, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is now a Netflix series.
We recommend that you check out the graphic novel and then dive right into the show.
Thanks so much for watching our review, guys. We really enjoyed this novel. If you liked our review, please subscribe and leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you thought of this. Bye, guys!